Badass millionaire book buyer David Boblitz sent me a letter yesterday and weighs in on one of my principles. While nothing loses like winning. Nothing loses like winning. David was replying to my video a few days ago where I asked the question, how are you still getting in your own way? How are you still getting in your own way? David's entire letter and response is included in this email. Very, very worth your time to check out how winning sometimes is, or how winning can sometimes lead to losing. So David talks about how the success that he's been having, which is substantial, has also clouded his mental state in terms of these are other areas that I'm still getting in my way and I need to improve. So first of all, his wins since Christmas time, a little after Christmas, he went back, he's watched all my videos since Thanksgiving. So he has been following the Badass Millionaire world building program since, let's say, January 1st. So what has David accomplished? David has accomplished so far, all of a sudden he now goes to bed at the same time and gets up at the same time 7 days a week. In other words, he's getting better sleep, he's taking care of himself physically and mentally, go to bed at the same time, get up at the same time every single day. What has this led to? He's up every morning, he's got his t-shirt, he's got his shorts, he's got his running shoes, he's got everything laid out in his bedroom, and he started walking 10 minutes, that became 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and as of yesterday, this weekend, he's up to walking 50 minutes, power walking every single morning, 7 days a week, no days off. So there's a huge win. He's lost 11 pounds. 11 pounds by putting together probably 8 to 9,000 steps up to walking 50 minutes every single morning. Has not missed a day in months since he began. Secondly, after that, of course, he has breakfast with his secret weapon wife. He showers, he has breakfast with his best friend and secret weapon wife, which is quality time together. And another win that he has is he's been reading. He started reading 15 minutes a day, morning, then up to 20 minutes a day, up to 30 minutes a day. And now he's between 30 and 60 minutes per day, every single morning. As you can see, Dave now owns his mornings. He is now winning his mornings. He is getting up and he is working on his agenda. He's working on his personal mission every single morning before the chaos of the day can derail him. He gets up, he does his thing, he sets his goals, he goes for a walk, he reads for an hour, he has breakfast and connects with the most important person in his life, his wife Suki, and also does not touch his cell phone anymore in the mornings. So he's completely 100% connected. None of this digital dementia stuff, none of this, checked out, walking around like a zombie anymore. So basically, he is winning his days because he's winning his mornings. He now owns his mornings. As you'll see when you read his letter in my email, he's also facing some other challenges that need to be changed, which I am happy to provide recommendations as I have been through and overcome all of his particular challenges. Number one, of course, no date night, no date day. He wants to spend more time with his secret weapon, but here's the situation. In David's situation, his wife Suki suffered a brain tumor 6 years ago. She suffered a brain tumor 6 years ago and has been in a wheelchair for the last 6 years. So Suki can walk with the aid of a walker a few steps, but basically she's spending the 99% of her time in her wheelchair. But here's the thing, Suki is relentless. Suki is a badass. And Suki has put up pictures, signs, posters all around their home that say, Suki will walk. She has literally put up signs, handwritten signs all around their home that say, Suki will walk. So she now has the badass goal of someday turning these handful of steps in per day to a life of walking again. Now, as an example, my father, Al Hardy, the great badass, Krista's father, was told by local medical nurses and doctors when he had his very serious stroke 5 years ago, we were quickly told that he would never, ever walk again. He would live the remainder of his life in a wheelchair until the day that he died. So I decided that I don't care how many letters is behind somebody's name. The bottom line is I'm not going to accept, okay, the opinions of just because you're a so-called expert. So what we did is we did some research. My wife Krista said, you know what? We can find a way for Al to have a chance to walk. So to make a long story short, we took Al to the stroke clinic in the United States. We flew him down there. This is 5 years ago. And it's called the Shirley Ryan Stroke Clinic. And he was there for 21 days, 3 weeks max. And he was walking after 5 days. He was walking after 5 days. So he went from the diagnosis of the local officials in our hospital, rehab, whatever you want to call it. He'll never walk again. 5 days later, after being in Chicago at the clinic, they sent me a video of him walking on his own. 5 years later, he still can walk with the aid of a walker, but still, it's huge for independence. He can walk to dinner, he can walk to lunch, he can walk to breakfast, he can walk into our lake house. He can do all these things after being told that he couldn't walk. So David's story certainly struck a nerve with me in terms of tell your wife I think she's a badass, and secondly, tell her that I think that she'll walk within 6 months to a year. Anybody who puts up signs like that has given themselves a chance. So as if, like his, by the way, this is something I didn't say to Dave, is what he's doing personally in front of his life, where he's losing weight, where he's training, where he's walking, where he's drinking a gallon of water, where he's reading an hour a day, where he's organizing date nights and date days. You don't think that's contagious for his wife? You don't think that that energy isn't the most positive example he could ever give? Well, it certainly is. There's nothing more contagious, okay, than a positive example. For our spouses, for our children, for our grandchildren, they watch what we do. They don't listen to what you say. They watch what you do. And just when we think our wives and our children and our grandchildren aren't watching, that's exactly when they are watching. So what he is doing is inspiration and motivation, certainly for his best friend and secret weapon. But what an incredible story. His wife has put up pictures around, okay, cards and posters around the house that say her name, Suki, I will walk. And I'll keep you up to date on that story. So on top of that, he talked about 2 other challenges. First of all, date night, which he's fixing. He's going to do a date day on a Saturday or Sunday where the 2 of them spend the day together doing something that his wife would like to do. It's very simple. They're going to spend a day outside the home, which is a big deal because she's still in a wheelchair. And this is going to make such a difference in his relationship with his wife that it can't be measured. So I said, put that on your calendar, make that non-negotiable appointment. That never gets knocked off the calendar, by the way. If you have a date night or you have a date day with your secret weapon, I'm sorry, but nothing knocks that off the calendar. If it's every Wednesday night, it's every Wednesday night. Your employees know that, your managers know that, your CEO knows that, your COO knows that, your friends know that, your kids know that. It's non-negotiable, unfuckwithable. So, same thing with any of the things. Reading time, every day an hour, unfuckwithable. Drinking a gallon of water, non-negotiable, non-negotiable. Walking 30 to 60 minutes every single day, non-negotiable. Okay, these are the types of things, rules, rituals, whatever you want to call them, that are non-negotiable. They're not up for negotiation under any circumstances. The last thing that David said, and you can read it in his letter, is he had the challenge of the cell phone, of course. You know, severe addiction to the cell phone. So he does very well in the mornings, which is normal. But then as he fatigues, as the day goes on, our willpower lessens in the afternoon and evenings, he finds himself dropping back into negative behaviors. In other words, carrying that thing around, checking out mentally, you know, all the kind of stuff that comes with that severe addiction. So I told him the only thing that's ever worked in my business or in my life is locking it away, locking the damn thing away. It's been designed by some of the smartest people in the world to make sure that we become super addicted to it. That's why people are checking, businessmen check and open their phone between 150 to 300 times per day. You open your phone between 150 and 300 times per day. If you're not a badass world builder, I can guarantee you're opening your phone 150 plus times a day. So basically, you're accomplishing almost nothing. You've got activity, but you've got no achievement. There's a study out there that has proven the fact that when you're interrupted, if I interrupt you now with a text or an email or whatever it is, a how are you doing, or, you know, whatever it is, it takes the average businessman 12 minutes to regain focus. So think about that. Every time you're interrupted by a text, an email, a phone call, something on anti-social media, any of that trash, it takes you a minimum 12 minutes to refocus. So don't be surprised if you carry a cell phone that you get nothing important done. You achieve almost none of your goals. You may have a laundry list or a grocery list of things you do, but none of them are producing, none of them are building your world. None of those things are changing your marriage. None of those things are changing your business. None of those things are changing your life, your relationship with your kids. None of those things are legacy building. You're just getting activity done, but there's no achievement. So what Dave, I recommend it, is when he gets home from the office or wherever he's coming from at 5 o'clock, 5:30, whatever time he comes home, do what the greats do. You know, at the front door where you hang up your keys? Well, I have a box and have had a box at all of our different places that we live. And the first thing I do when I hang up my keys, the second thing I do, and I don't even carry a cell phone, but if I do have it with me, it goes right back in the lockbox, right at the front door. Right locked in the box. Boom, done. I walk in, and for the next 5 hours, I'm mentally present with my daughter Emery, my wife Krista, dinner, watch some TV, go for a walk in the evening, go for a bike ride, play some tennis, but I refuse to touch that cell phone again. The next time I touch my cell phone, at the earliest, is 11 a.m. 11 a.m. So from 3 p.m., 4 p.m.-ish in my world, I don't touch that thing again, but I have a lockbox. A lockbox at the door. Have one here in Naples, have one in Canada, have one at my office. Lock it away. I turn it off and I lock it away. You don't have to get a lockbox. You can lock your phone in the trunk of your car. You can lock it in the safe at home if you have a safe, but you need to lock it up. If you just set it down, then you're just wasting all of your willpower on that nonsense. Come home, lock it away, shut it away. The last thing that David talked about, which is a is a secret that I'll share with you, which is a big one. One of the rules that he's setting is no snacking, no eating after 7 p.m. And that's a really good one. That's a really great rule because we're all guilty of that. I love to eat, you know, when I'm sitting down by the fire or out on the boat or watching some TV with my wife. And my wife, Krista, taught me this secret a few years ago, and it works like a charm. So it's not that we're really hungry. It's just that we're in a habit where when we're sitting and we're unwinding from the day, that we feel, you know, we need something in our hands. We need to drink, we need to eat, but we don't really. So my wife taught me this incredible tip a few years back. And she was sitting there one night and we were about to watch our show, 45-minute tape show. That's what we do, 4 nights a week. So she brought me a cup of all things green tea. I never had green tea in my life. I'm a coffee drinker, I'm a water drinker. And she said, drink this when you're watching the TV show. So it's caffeine free, of course, because I don't want caffeine in the afternoon or at night before I sleep. So it was spearmint green tea, and there's all kinds of, and it tasted really great. And instead of me sitting there snacking on pretzels or chips or any of this other stuff that I'm highly addicted to, salty things, carbs, chips, peanuts, any of that stuff. Krista doesn't buy it anymore. You don't bring that stuff in your house. That's the secret. It's not about willpower. Don't bring it in. I told David that. So I have green tea every single night when I sit down. Last night, night before, whatever. And I'll sit there, and sometimes I have 2 cups of it because I got a really addictive personality. So I'll sit there and I'll drink a couple of cups of this incredible caffeine green tea. Krista makes it for both of us. And I sit there and I have 0 cravings. I have 0 cravings. I don't know why it works. I don't know how it works. I could not care less. I just don't eat chips anymore. I don't eat pretzels. I don't eat peanuts. And I do not have the craving once I have this cup of tea. And it's caffeine free and it's green tea. And then that's it. That's it. Water didn't do it for me. Nothing else did it for me, but this did it for me. So now I have a rule. I don't eat after 7 p.m. ever. And I'm able to stick to that rule. No exceptions. And I've been able to do it with the secret of a cup of non-caffeine, has to be non-caffeine, green tea. So if you buy that stuff, bring it into your house, keep it in the kitchen, and every night whatever you're doing, whether you're sitting by the fire or whatever you're doing, and something where you normally snack, have a cup of green tea. I have 2, but I have a really addictive personality. So that was one of my insider secrets to David. And then I also mentioned to him in my response is he was talking about how he snacks on pretzels and things like that. Don't buy that stuff. Don't buy that stuff anymore. Just stop that right there at the supermarket. Just instruct your wife or personally, if you do the shopping, just stop that stuff right there. It doesn't get inside your world. That's like having a bottle of vodka on the kitchen table when you're a recovering alcoholic. That's like having a package of cigarettes on the kitchen table when you're quitting smoking. Just don't bring that stuff into your environment. Don't waste your willpower on that. So anyway, my question is this, and what I really had to get off my chest. You have a man here who's taken these videos that I shoot every day to heart. He's read my book several times. He's read Winning. He's read Tim Grover's Relentless. He gets up every single day. He's lost 11 pounds. He's drinking a gallon of water. He's reading. He's doing Hindu squats. He's doing all these things that fit into his world. Not because I said so, but because they fit into his world. Some things work, some things don't work. But here's a guy with a wife that's in a wheelchair who now has posters around the house that say, Suki will walk. Suki will walk. And seeing the contagious example, how contagious his positive example now is just inside his world. My question for you is, again, what the hell is stopping you? What could possibly be stopping you from building the life and world of your dreams? What in the hell could possibly be stopping you from living life and doing business on your own terms? Do you live in the wrong state? Do you live in the wrong country? Do you Like, I mean, you can't walk, you can't read. What is it? You have to be on your cell phone 20 hours a day. You don't talk to your kids. You don't talk to your, what the hell is it? I'd like to know. What's the excuse? What bullshit are you burying yourself in that you can't accomplish what this man and his wife are accomplishing day by day, day by day, day by day? Little things. Why? Where is your success story? Where is your success story? Why can't you get up and own your morning? Why can't you get up and win your morning? Why can't you start by walking 5 minutes, by drinking a gallon of water, by having a date night that's actually a date night? Where are your unfuckable rules? You know, where is, you want to build your own life? You say you want to build your own life. You want to live life and do business on your own terms? Well, what's the excuse? Get to it. Get to it. So, I'm happy to share success stories. I'm certainly happy to share David's story and his wife's, and I'll keep you up to date on those. But at the end of the day, what is stopping you? What is still getting in your way that you need to curate out of your life? What is stopping you, whether it's a substance, whether it's the food you eat, whether it's mentally, whether it's people in your life, whether it's family, whatever it is. What are the toxins? What are the cancers in your life that need to be curated out? What do you need to take the swift sword to? What do you need to cut the rope with so that you can take your business and your life to the next level? What do you need to stop doing? What do you need to quit? What do you need to quit to take your life to the next level? And when in doubt, curate out. So I encourage you to check out David's letter to me below in this email. Also, I appreciate any comments. If you're new, I shoot these videos every single day. You can subscribe to my channel below. My brand new book that David references, How to Not Get Your Ass Kicked in Business and in Life. You can get your copy at nobullbook.com. That's nobullbook.com. The link is below. Also, I have some free web training below in the link. And I also have a waiting list and a way for you to apply to work with me personally at my next 8-week world building coaching program. You can do that at the link below. So that's it. That's David's story. That's Suki's story. And I love to hear people that take action, people that change their mindset, and people that work that 0.001% better every single day by starting. Just remember, men, it's the start that stops most. It's the start that stops most. What is getting in your way? What is stopping you? What do you need to quit doing? What do you need to stop doing? What do you need to curate out of your life? Who has to go? What has to go? What habits, what people, what negative things have to go? And let's get rid of them and let's get moving on building you a life where you live life and do business on your own terms. 2 words that changed my life, 2 words that are changing David and Suki's life. Be relentless.